defeats BYU in dominant fashion in Malik Murphy's first start. The MLB World Series has been very entertaining despite the lack of viewership, and the NFL roars on as the trade deadline is now in the rearview mirror. All of this and more coming up on College Crossfire.
What are those? Coming back to that 2021 MVP. He's better than Josh Allen. He's better than Baker Mayfield. He's not better than Mahomes. I can't say that. What the different kick, you get kicked. So, bags of money or whatever, some food inside of them. Okay. All right. We're gonna move on.
Good evening, and welcome into the most, oh wow, look at that wonderful audience. Welcome into the most renowned and breathtaking sports show on the planet. I love that intro, it always gets me going. It's just such a great way to start the show. I'm your official host, Ryan Swantkowski, and we have a great show for you this evening. Before meeting our contestants, I want to share with you that today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin's transit system. We connect you to work, school, play, and everywhere else in between. Plan your ride to this weekend's game at capmetro.org. All right, let's go ahead now and meet the players of tonight's game. Introducing first, Mr. Tyler Moss, making his first appearance of the year. How are we doing, Tyler?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here out on Crossfire for the first time. I'm going against two. Thank you, Ronan. I'm going against two people who won their Crossfire debut, so I'm looking to maybe do the same thing here.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you. Introducing second, last week's Week 8 winner and looking to get the back-to-back dub, Kendell Ungar.
Hello, I'm super excited to be here. Last week was a lot of fun, so looking to pull out a win again.
Here we go. Awesome. Well, welcome back. Happy to have you here again. And introducing third, but definitely not last, a previous winner this season looking to retake the throne, Grabiel Silva. Grabiel, how are we doing?
I feel pretty good. Happy to be back on the show. Happy to not see Jason Conander sitting next to me because he was a tough opponent. But I'm ready for this week's show.
Awesome.
What are you trying to say about us, Grabiel?
Yeah, what you trying to say? There we go. Well, thank you all for being
small sample size.
Thank you all for being here. But before we get started, though, let's go over the rules of the game, just in case you've never tuned in before. There will be 3 rounds, with each round containing 3 questions, and I will give out points to who I believe has the best answer in order of 3 points, 2 points, and 1 point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the third round wins and gets to come back for next week's show as well. But we can't forget that the third and final round, or the rapid-fire round, is worth double the points. That meaning the best answer will receive 6 points, and so on. Also in this rapid-fire round, the contestants have not been able to see or prepare for these questions whatsoever, meaning they'll have to improvise, overcome, and just hopefully not get caught in the crossfire. Now that the game is explained, let's get to firing. Texas football on Saturday defeated the Cougars yet again, except this time they were from BYU and not Houston. The score was 35-6, but it seemed like the Horns could have won by way more than this score. What was your main takeaway from this game, and how do you think quarterback Malik Murphy played in his first career start? Tyler, we'll start with you.
Okay, so biased takeaway here. BYU was bad, okay? We knew it. I accept it now, all right? And secondly, the red zone offense has got to get better. I don't know what Sark is doing when we get down to the red zone. I think he needs to send Bert Auburn out more instead of going for those risky 4th down calls. And even if he's going for it on 4th down, call it more conservatively. As far as Malik Murphy goes, I think he played good. I really want to see some more ball security. He had that fumble late when they were driving. He also had that pick that was a very weird pick. I don't know where he was throwing that ball. But also I'd like to see him throw the ball more downfield. I don't know if that was an issue with play calling or with his reads. But we know he's got an arm. I don't think his yardage piled up and showed that really. I would like to see him push the ball more downfield, but overall it was a very solid start from Malik and the Horns, so I'm looking forward to seeing him next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think ball security was somewhat of an issue for Malik, but like you said, he's got a rocket arm. You saw that. And the 4th downs are a big question mark continuously throughout the season. Yet again, we saw it this past weekend. Okay, Kendall, what do you got?
Look, Malik going into this game, I feel he played exactly how we all expected him to. Coming in, first career start, he didn't have too much experience. He's only thrown 8 balls, completed 4 before this game. So I feel he did have some rocky play. He had 1 interception, then he had the fumble. And I just feel these were young mistakes, and he had the ability to bounce back. So I'm excited and looking forward to see how he continues to develop as a quarterback. I also feel red zone play was a huge problem. The Longhorns offense went 5 times, only scoring on 2 of those. 2 of them were within the 5-yard line, so I really think the Longhorns need to focus in on this and just secure the ball and get to the end zone. I think definitely the defense saved us in the game. You know, BYU only scoring on 2 field goals. This was definitely something that saved us, and I'm just looking forward to see how Malik continues to develop.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, young quarterback, defense played extremely well, and yet again, here we are talking about the red zone week after week after week. So many struggles in the red zone. I think you nailed it on the head there. All right, Grabiel, what do you got?
I don't want to beat a dead horse here. Obviously, the red zone offense was a very subpar. Multiple times at the goal line, especially, and you come away with no points. You got to come up with some points. That's a key when you play a good team like Oklahoma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another key was the defense. Defense stood out. 3 turnovers. They had a couple sacks. They limited to BYU to only 6 points. So I'm going to say the defense really helped out this past week, trying not to talk about the red zone offense too much. Malik Murphy himself, he did what he was asked to do. He threw the ball short, got it to his playmakers. A.D. Mitchell had a couple touchdowns. When he was able to launch the ball down the field, he was able to, and he did it real well. It was a great first game for him, especially against a subpar BYU team. Sorry, Tyler. But, I mean,
I accepted it.
That's what it is. So I'm going to have to go with that as my answer.
Yeah, fair enough. I think, kind of like you mentioned, the defense played well, and he found his playmakers, and he did what he needed to do. He did what he was asked to do. So I completely agree there. Okay, assigning points with the 3 to start the show. I'm going to give the 3 to Kendell. I like the stat from the red zone that you brought in, and I know it's something we keep talking about, like Grabiel kind of said, but it is a very important thing to keep talking about. So I'm going to give you the 3. With the 2, I'm going to give it to Tyler. I like the thought of ball security. We kind of saw that with Malik this past weekend a lot, especially with that bad fumble. That's got to get fixed probably down the line. With the 1, Grabiel, just the 1 down there. No shame over there. Plenty more game to come. Okay. Sticking with Texas football, the Horns moved to 7-1 on the season, but now welcome the red-hot Kansas State Wildcats to DKR on Saturday. In what appears to be a very competitive game, who do you think will win, and what will be the winning team's key to victory this weekend? We're going to start in the middle with Kendell.
Look, obviously, I think the Longhorns will pull out the win on Saturday. You have to look at Kansas State because they obviously are a good team. They lead number 5 in rushing yards, and also they're averaging 40 points a game. So I think if our defense continues to play well, we will have the win and do that. I think Malik continues to need to look to his players. He needs to look to Worthy. He needs to look to Mitchell. And these are definitely 2 players that can help him out. I also feel, just like I said before, that the comfortness and the lead role in the offense is something he definitely needs to rely on and just to continue to grow as a player.
Yeah, I like those 2 players you named in the wide receivers with Worthy and A.D. Mitchell, like you said. And we'll see if the Horns get it done. I like that thought, though, for sure. All right, Grabiel.
So I think Texas is going to win this game. It's going to be real close. Kansas State, their last 2 games they've played, I believe, I don't remember who they've played, but they have won. They have won a combined 82-3 in those games. They have dominated in all facets of the game. Their only losses are on a last-second field goal to Missouri and an Oklahoma State team that actually hasn't been as bad lately. So the key to the game for Texas is going to be their defense. Their defense has not given up more than, I believe, 14 points at home this season, although I think it might change this week against K-State. And Malik Murphy, he already has 1 game under his belt. You get all the cobwebs off, I think he's going to be able to, maybe start slinging the ball around a little bit more. And I think that's going to be the key for Texas. I got Texas 34-21.
I like that. 34 points against a tough Kansas State defense. Okay. Like you said, I like Murphy. He's got some confidence going into it. Key, great guess that it's going to be the defense, as it is most every game Texas plays. All right, Tyler, round us off.
Yeah, so we all had kind of similar answers here. I'm looking really at K-State's run offense has been really good this year. Their leading rusher is averaging around 6 yards a carry. So the key for Texas, I'm going to call out two big men right here, Tavondre Sweat and Byron Murphy. They got to do a good job shutting it down in the middle. If they can get pressure on Will Howard when he's dropping back to pass, he can run sometimes. But if you stop up that run game and force him to drop back, take away that running option, he hasn't been super efficient passing. They've really relied on running the ball this year. So I'm looking at Sweat. I'm looking at Murphy to do just what they did against BYU. really stuff up the middle and get back in the pocket when they drop back to pass, and Texas will be just fine to take this one away. I think Malik is going to have a safe game if the defense plays just how they did last week.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like how you incorporated that the run game for Kansas State is just that's what they do. The quarterback runs the ball. The running backs obviously run the ball. That's what their offense does. They run the ball. So I like your key players you brought in there for sure. Okay, assigning points for this question. I'm going to give Tyler the 3 here. I mean, they run it down your throat. They're averaging over 200 rushing yards a game. I mean, plain and simple, got to stop the run if you're going to beat Kansas State. With the 2, I'm going to give it to Grabiel. I liked how you touched on Murphy down there, and I liked kind of your score prediction as well. And then with the 1, I'm going to give it to Kendall to round off question 2. Okay, moving into our final question of this round. Texas men's basketball, yep, it's basketball season, ladies and gentlemen, has their first game in just 5 days as they will take on the Incarnate Word Cardinals at the Moody Center. The Horns played in an exhibition game Monday night against the Division II St. Edward's Hilltoppers and looked very shaky in the first half, but pulled out the victory in the end. For this season, who do you think will be Texas's most impactful player and why? Grabiel, we'll start with you on the end.
I believe that the most impactful player for this basketball team, I mean, everybody's heard the hype around him as soon as he was announced to be coming to this team. It's going to be Max Asmus, right? He came over from Oral Roberts, and, you know, he led them with, I believe, 22 points per game. He was an all-around great facilitator, game manager for the team. For Oral Roberts, I think he led them on a great tournament run. 30-5 record. You know, now he's coming over to Texas, the 40 acres. See what he could do. Does he live up to the hype? We'll have to see. But if he does, the Texas team is going to be really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that call. Max Asmus coming over. Definitely the biggest, probably, off-season addition to the squad. Again, UT awesome guys. Timmy Allen, Marcus Carr, big-time names. They need to fill that void. I think hopefully Asmus would be able to do that. All right, Tyler, let's hear it.
So I'm going to go with somebody who didn't play actually against this last scrimmage. I'm going with Dylan Dessou. We saw what happened last year. He went out early in the season, or not in the season, rather in the tournament, late in the tournament, and we saw what an impact that had on the team. It really slowed them down after he went out with his injury. He's still coming back from that. I think when he comes back, he's going to make a big difference. The Horns really lacked a person down in the paint. They needed some paint presence down low. I think Dylan Dessou is going to provide that. Obviously, Asmus and Tyrese Hunter out at front. They're going to be doing a great job. But if you get somebody down in the paint like Dessou, once he comes back, he's going to really lock this team back together.
Yeah, and you saw Dessou in the tournament. If you watched March Madness last year, he got injured after, I believe, in the second game, end of the second game. But, man, he was absolutely dominant against Penn State. Towards the end of the season, just really came on. So I really like that thought. All right, Kendall, round us off.
So I also went with Max Asmus with my most impactful player. Look, he's coming in NCAA lead points with over 2,500 career points, insane amount. He also, I feel, already is living up to the hype. You know, he's named to the All Big 12 team. I really feel like there's a lot of hype going around with this player. There's talk of him being the best transfer to come to Texas or all of the college basketball world. So I just really think he already is putting in his name, and I really feel the Longhorns have a huge win with him as a player.
Yeah, absolutely. I like how you expanded on Max Asmus there. I mean, he's got to be talked about a lot. He is a phenomenal basketball player at now a very big basketball school. So we'll see how he does. This should be interesting. Great answers across the board from you guys. With the 3 points here, I'm going to give it to Tyler yet again. I was looking for Dylan Dessou. I think he is the most impactful player on this team and probably one of, if not the best player, the second best player on the team. I just think he's the most important, so I like that answer there. With the 2, I'm going to give it to Kendall. It was a tough one between you guys. I liked what Kendall brought in, kind of about Max Asmus being named Big 12 to the Big 12 team and the overall points. And with the 1, I'm going to give it to Grabiel, just like the explanation, just a bit more. Okay, that will wrap things up for tonight's first round. Don't go anywhere. College Crossfire will be right back. back into College Crossfire. I got a quick scoring update for everybody out there. Tyler leads the way with 8 points. Kendall right behind him with 6 points. And Grabiel rounding it up with 4 points. We got a close game right now. But let's shift gears over to some professional sports. The NFL trade deadline has passed, and there weren't any blockbuster trades this year compared to years past, besides the Commanders dishing out some older defensive linemen. But there are several NFL players who want to join new teams in the offseason, or at least it appears that way. Who is one major NFL player you could see joining a new team for next season, and why do you feel this way? Grabiel, we're going to start with you on the end.
I wouldn't consider this player as a big name player, you know, not a Devontae Adams, not a Derrick Henry, not a Mike Evans. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins. You know, this is kind of the easy answer. He just got hurt, you know, terrible season-ending injury. But, I mean, the writing was on the wall that this might have been his last season in Minnesota anyways. You know, the injury doesn't help. Justin Jefferson, we don't know what his mindset is, if he's happy in Minnesota anymore or not. We'll have to see. But, I mean, moving on from Kirk Cousins, bringing in a different quarterback, I believe they brought in Josh Dobbs. We'll see what he could do, but, you know, Dobbs is not going to be the answer long term. We'll see what Minnesota does, but I believe Kirk Cousins is going to be a quarterback for somebody else next season.
Okay, fair enough. Cousins has been playing, or had played super well. Tore his Achilles, is out for the season. Lots of questions of when the Vikings were bad earlier, will he get traded? Obviously didn't get traded. Out for season. Contract's over at the end of the year. I could totally see him leaving. We'll see what happens there. I like that answer a lot. All right, Kendall, let's hear it.
I took Mike Evans for this question. He's been with the Bucs since 2014. His contract's almost over. He hasn't been re-signed yet, and I really feel he's almost stuck on the team. You know, he's never played for anyone else. Obviously, with the loss of Brady, I feel the Bucs aren't having the season they have had in the past. I really feel that Mike Evans belongs somewhere else. He is a huge player, and any team would be grateful to have. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Mike Evans for this.
Yeah, Mike Evans has had, I don't know if it's every season, but I think it's every season, 1,000 yards or more. Sneakily good player, phenomenal wide receiver, and it's pretty crazy he's been there his whole career. That's pretty wild. Boy from A&M, and my Texans are going to give him some trouble this weekend. Don't worry about it. Okay, I like that answer though. Tyler, round us off.
So I got a fact for Grabiel is that the Vikings are starting a BYU quarterback this week. Grabiel, I know you're going to like that. So I know Jaron Hall is going to step up his game with Kirk Cousins out, even with Josh Dobbs coming in. But also Grabiel said all three names that I had written down, so I'm still going to go with one of those. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. I think that he's going to get a fresh start outside of the Titans. Obviously, the Titans' game plan has been somebody at quarterback hands off to Derrick Henry. I think they found something in Will Levis. I think that they're going to kind of move on from Derrick Henry because he's just going to be, I mean, that's going to be a lot of money come the offseason for the Titans. I think they're going to realize that, well, if Will Levis is throwing like he did on Sunday, they're not going to need Derrick Henry as much to pick up Ryan Tannehill's slack. So I think that he's going to find a new team in the offseason, and, you know, obviously whatever team he finds himself, he's going to elevate that team.
Yeah, I think Derrick Henry's a great answer. He was mentioned a lot around the trade deadline as well with the Titans. I mean, he's done great stuff for the Titans, but the Titans, besides 1 year winning, you know, being the first seed, have really done nothing. So I could totally see that happening as well. Really great answers across the board. I was expecting all three of those names to probably be said. With the 3 points, I'm going to give it to Grabiel on the end. The Cousins talk's been going on for so long now. Contract's over. The timing feels right. He's hurt, which is super sad, but I think he's probably going somewhere else. The two, I've got to give it to Derrick Henry and Tyler right here. Got to give it to Tyler, not obviously Derrick Henry. But great answer by Tyler.
I can give my points to Derrick Henry if he signs with the Cowboys in the offseason,
oh, God,
okay?
Here we go.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, I like the Derrick Henry answer a lot. I think he's going to leave, if not next year, like very, very soon, maybe at that next trade deadline. With the one I'm going to give it to Kendall, I like the Mike Evans call. I could definitely see him leaving, but he's just been there for so long, I'm not totally sure that will exactly happen. So, okay. Moving into our second question, and sticking here with the NFL, there seem to be some divisions that are simply not performing to the quality of others. In your opinion, what is the worst division in the NFL right now, and what makes you feel this way about that certain division? Kendall, we're going to start with you in the middle.
The NFC South, I'm going to go with. Look, no team has a winning record. I feel like they're kind of embarrassing themselves in a way because no other team in the NFL, their divisions, have a losing record. You know, the Saints, 4-4, and I just feel consistently this team has underplayed. You know, Panthers only 1-6. I just really feel like this division here is struggling, and they need to pick it up.
Yeah, NFC South, I think, is a great answer. Across the board, no team that really jumps out at you saying, oh, look at us, we might make a Super Bowl. So I really like the NFC South answer. That's a great answer. All right, Tyler, what do you got?
I'm going to go with the South of the AFC, actually. I think that even though the Jaguars are 6-2, they're looking in a good playoff spot. I still just think they're really the only team in that division that is playing meaningful football right now. I mean, obviously, the Colts lost Anthony Richardson is really hurting their season, but they're sitting under 500. The Titans we talked about, they're sitting under 500 still, but even though, maybe we've got a couple teams on the rise right now, but I still just don't think that this year they're going to make a difference. And then, obviously, the Jaguars are sitting atop the division. The Texans are kind of, they're rising with C.J. Stroud. Still under 500, so you got those three teams down there. They're 3-4, 3-4, 3-5, and then you have the 6-2 team that I still think is just going to be, a wild card exit at the end of the day. So give me the AFC South.
Yeah, I like the AFC South call a lot. I like how you brought in my Texans. We're on the rise. Everybody hear that? I'm gonna take notes on that right there. I really like that call though. The AFC South for continuous years now is not been good. They are on the rise. All the teams they're young and they're up and coming, but right now it's a really bad division. I would agree. All right, Grabiel, round us off.
Well, obviously the obvious answer would be the NFC South, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to go with the NFC North, okay? Historically, the Detroit Lions are not that good of a team, and then look at them now. They're top of the division, 6-2. Lions are really good, right? But after that, it kind of takes a fall off. Vikings are at 500. They just lost Kirk Cousins, like I said previously. So who knows where that team's going to go. The Packers are at 2-6, I believe. Jordan Love looks kind of clueless out there. Who knows what he's doing? It's, kind of iffy. I mean, when you and the Bears have almost the same record, that's not a good sign. And that brings me to my next point. The Chicago Bears. Who knows what's going on in Chicago? Sorry, Jason and Tommy. It is a dumpster fire up there. And, Justin Fields, he hasn't even been healthy these past couple weeks, but he hasn't looked good. The Bears only have one win. So I'm going to go with the NFC North. That's about the best answer I could think of other than those two divisions I already said.
I like that call. Yeah, and earlier there was talks like, oh, this question may have one big answer. No, these were all three very great answers with great explanations. So, and I had to laugh out audibly when you mentioned the Bears because, they're
Everybody laughs at the Bears.
Everybody laughs at the Bears. It's just fun. It's all fun and games. Okay, with the three, I'm going to give it to Kendall. NFC South was, in my opinion, the correct answer. Every time you watch these teams play, you're like, they're either going to score 10 and lose, or they're just going to be very boring to watch. Just not a lot of great play going on over there. So I'm going to give you the three. With the two, this one was really close. I actually went back and forth. I'm going to give it to Grabiel. I like the explanation. You brought him with the Bears. The Lions this year are good, yes, but the Packers have been terrible. The Vikings now lost Kirk Cousins. Jordan Love is not very good. It's just madness over there. With the one, I also really liked your answer, Tyler, because I do think the AFC South is not good, but I think the other two are just slightly worse than that. So, moving into our third and final question of this round, the World Series is in full swing, and Game 5 is currently being played as we speak. The Rangers, I believe, are winning. Yes.
Let me get a fact check on
Hold
that.
on, let's get a quick fact check here while we're watching the VO.
Ronan is saying
It's 1-0 Rangers.
it is 1-0
Rangers top of the eighth.
2
Wow,
outs.
there we go. There we go. Okay. Regardless of this game's outcome, who do you think has been the most impactful player in this World Series, and what have they done to make you choose them? Tyler, we'll start with you.
So I know you mentioned this in the last question. There is a correct answer, and I wholeheartedly believe, as just an eye test, I don't really watch baseball. I don't really follow. When it comes October, I start watching. It's Corey Seager. That is the correct answer. He's got those 3 home runs in the 4 games so far, and he's got 6 runs batted in, which is the most the Rangers have. He's been a key part in this, especially since Adolis Garcia went out, and he hasn't been playing these last couple games. And even tonight, he played a key part in that inning where they finally broke through the no-hitter. So give me Corey Seager. I think that's the right answer.
Corey Seager is definitely a great answer indeed. He's really picked up the slack while Adolis Garcia has been out. And against the Astros, he was very, very bad. Picked it up Game 7. Here he is rolling again. Grabiel, let's hear it.
The World Series MVP is going to be Corey Seager, okay? But I'm not going to follow up on that because I'm trying to win some points here.
Oh.
Okay.
I like that.
But I'm also going to go with the team on the player that's on the Diamondbacks, okay? I'm going to go with Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham has hit 500 going. He was hitting 500 going in. He was hitting 500 going into tonight's game. He had a couple key hits, a couple key RBIs, especially in games 1 and 2 to help keep the Diamondbacks afloat, although they did blow game 1 and has not looked good these past couple games. I'm going to go with Tommy Pham. I would have picked Corey Seager, but I didn't go first on this answer, so I'm going to go with Tommy Pham.
Fair enough. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I like the Tommy Pham answer. That's good. And we got Sam over here saying go Mets for a player that no longer plays for the Mets. That is loyalty right there, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. That's awesome, Sam. Great answer, Grabiel. All right, Kendall, finish it off.
Okay, I'm going to go with the correct answer here, Corey Seager. You know, he's had an incredible few years. He's only 29 years old. He's not even over the age of 30. He was the MVP last time he saw the World Series in 2020. If you look at his game last night, he got a 2-run home run. I also feel that he is just a huge impactful player. You know, he has 4 home runs, which is the most by a shortstop in the World Series history. So yeah, I really think Corey here is the right answer. He's just been an unbelievable player.
Fair enough. I like the stats you brought in there as well. Corey Seager, under the age of 30. He's getting up there a little bit, but he's still playing like he's, what, 21, 22 years old? He's playing great. Okay, great answers across the board by everybody yet again. With the 3, got to do it. Got to give it to Tyler. I mean, this is just how it goes sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. You got the right spot.
So grateful.
It is Corey Seager. He's been dominant this whole World Series. If the Rangers do close it out tonight, he will be winning the MVP, and everybody knows it. With the 2, I'm going to give it to Grabiel. I like the answer over there. It's a little bit different. Tommy Pham. Nobody else said Diamondbacks over here. I like it. This is a show about different answers and going after it, and that's why we're here. That's why you're watching. And with the one, I'm going to give it to Kendall. Like the facts you brought in, but going last on this question, kind of tough to get some big points there. Okay, great answers around by all our contestants. Adding up and looking at the scores when we come back, we've got Rapid Fire coming up next. You won't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back into College Crossfire. We have a tight game right now with the scores as follows. Tyler Mosley in the way with 14. Kendall and Grabiel tied at 11. Very close game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But it's still anyone's contest to take as we enter into the final round of tonight's show. That's worth double the points. And my advice to the contestants, don't get caught in the crossfire. Let's get into our first question of this segment. This past Saturday in DKR, I couldn't help but notice all the cool antics in and around the stadium, from occasional drone shows to burnt orange colored smoke. It seems like the DKR atmosphere is on another level compared to years past. If you could add any antic, event, food, etc. to the stadium to make it even better, what would it be and why? Anybody can start. Take your time.
Does anybody want to go first, or I'll go first? I would love to see them bring out Bevo during the light show. Bring him back out through the field during the light show with the smoke and everything else. If there's one way to elevate that, bring Bevo out, put him at center field with the strobe lights going crazy. Let him have his moment. We all know how much everybody loves Bevo. Could you imagine him out there with the orange lights flashing around, the smoke going through the student section? That would be the only thing that I can think of that would like truly tie together the DKR experience, is get Bevo more spotlight. There's never a wrong time to get Bevo more spotlight.
Well, I like that answer. Is he roped on? Like, does he have a rope on him?
No,
like,
just let him free.
You're just free reign. So
no, obviously,
remember
you gotta
against
still
Georgia.
have his Wranglers with him. Yeah, that video against Georgia is one of my favorite videos ever. I love that video.
Bye-bye. That could have been bad.
Obviously, keep his handlers with him the whole way, but still, bring him out to center field, bring him back. You know, you got 4 minutes in the media timeout. You could get him out there, get him some time.
All right, fair play. I like that answer.
I like that.
Great answer. Very unique answer. I love that.
Bring out Matthew McConaughey. I mean, he is a huge game spirit guy, alumni. I feel he's been to a couple games. I want to hear him speak. I want to see him reach to the fans, see the players. I think bringing him out to the field, you mentioned Bevo, I'm going to say Matthew McConaughey. I just feel he's a huge part of UT's culture, and I would really like to see him.
All right.
Very mascot.
That's all you gotta say to that. Is all right. I like that answer. Some people find him obnoxious, which is weird. I like that. It's great. UT spirit. All right, Grabiel.
Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna have to go with something to do with the crowd. I don't know how to specify this exactly, but you know, at Florida State, you got the tomahawk chop.
Yep.
Right? That's one of the coolest things ever. You got you know, Enter Sandman there in Blacksburg. You've got there's plenty more, all right? There's plenty more. There's plenty
okay.
more. There's
Those are good
plenty more.
examples.
There's plenty more, all right? But I want to see the crowd in unison getting into something. I don't know how exactly you could do that. I mean, Texas Fight is cool, but I mean, for the 65-year-old fans, that's probably the best you can get. You know, I mean, I come from a town where the high school football fans are also really old. I mean, they talk about, oh, we're the best fan base ever, but let's get the crowd involved more. I want to see something where the crowd gets involved more. I don't know exactly how to specify it. I would say the tomahawk chop is the best example of getting the whole crowd ready. Maybe like go horns go all at the same time, going like that. I don't know. That's probably the best answer I can give you right now.
I actually really like that answer. I've complained to my friends all the time. I'm like, the student section, it's great when we're playing Bama. Outside of that, it's not very great. It's very lackluster. That the new end zone that's built is all for the donors and, you know, some older fans per se. It's never full ever. I totally agree with that. We need something like, when you think Penn State, what do you think of? Whiteout. Exactly. We need something like that. Great answer, Grabiel. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm not going to say who's getting what points here. We'll announce the winner in the end. And we're going to move on to our second question. Pivoting off a similar question last week, the sports world seems to be filled with polarizing and dominant athletes across the globe. I want to know, in your opinion, who is currently the most dominant athlete in the world, and why do you feel this way? Again, anybody can go. Take your time. Lots of dominant athletes out there, and lots of great answers.
I'm going to go with the easy answer. I know Aaron in the back is going to love this one. I'm going to go with LeBron James. All right. Year 21. I mean, he's cutting his minutes down, but who in the world cuts down LeBron James's minutes? I mean, you go out there, you look at him, he's still blowing past all these youngsters, doing everything very elegant. He's like a gazelle out there, LeBron James, you know, running up the court, lob, dunk, three-point shot, the lead. You know what I mean.
We know what you mean.
The three ball. All right, LeBron's signature three, where he just stands there, looks at the ball, and then hits it right in his face. You know, I mean, this guy, he's been in the league for 2 plus decades, and he's still dominating. You know, just as he was when he first came to the league. I know there's plenty of other great athletes out there, but I would have to go with LeBron James for his longevity.
Great answer. I agree with that. Not LaFraud. LeBron. Great answer.
Give me Kylian Mbappe. You know, I grew up playing soccer, so I have respect for some great soccer players out there. I think Kylian Mbappe. I mean, if you watch the World Cup over this, this last December, he was phenomenal. Like, you can't guard the dude. He was unstoppable. He single-handedly had Paris in that game against Argentina. So I'm gonna go with Kylian Mbappe. I think he's just a phenomenal athlete. Any of those soccer players, you see those guys. Those are. I'll tell you, it is a hard sport to play, all right? And a 6'3", 200-pound man is sometimes not the best build for that sport. But Kylian Mbappe, I think, just all-around athletic. You could probably put him in other sports as well. Just tremendous athlete.
Yeah, Mbappe. I mean, if you watch the World Cup, you know who Mbappe is. Even if you didn't watch the World Cup, you probably still know who he is. Dominant, absolutely dominant soccer player. Love that answer as well. All right, what do you got, Kendall?
Okay, I know the Chiefs had a tough loss on Sunday, but I have to say Travis Kelce. I'm sorry, but before Taylor Swift, I knew who Kelce was. I feel everyone knew who he was. He's a dominant tight end. I think the best in the whole league. I know that Taylor has brought his name even more for her fans, but I'm sorry, any NFL household would know who Travis Kelce is.
Can you sing for us, Taylor Swift, or no?
No,
No
not a
singing?
singer.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Oh gosh, we got an F1 fan in the crowd over here.
Max Verstappen is not an athlete. Sorry, guys.
All he does is this. That's all he does. No,
I could do Max Verstappen's job.
Okay, great answers across the board. A little bit of different sports there. Football, football, and basketball. Love that. Okay. We're into our final question of the show. The NBA season is off to a strong start, with the big-time stars already showing off some of their moves. But there's one star who has especially been cooking so far, and it dawned on me to ask this specific question. If you had to guard Steph Curry for an entire NBA game, how many exact points could you hold him to, and what makes you think this way? Anybody can go.
Can I take one of his load management games?
You cannot. He is not load managing this
Somebody
game.
else want to answer? Okay, can I specify? Is he playing all 48 minutes?
He's playing almost the entire game. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a usual Steph Curry minute game, but you have to guard him the whole game. How many is he scoring on you?
I think Steph would put up. Oof, I just don't know, man. This is such a hard question to answer.
That's why I love it. That's
I'm
why I
trying
love
to come
it.
up with a number in my brain. I mentioned before, I'm a 6'3" dude, which
Yeah,
is the
you got
same
some-
height as
you got
Steph
some
Curry.
size.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, Steph Curry looks small out there on a basketball court, so it's weird to think I would be that small. But me on Steph Curry, I mean, yeah, we do have similar sizes. He's dropping 57 points on my head.
57. 57. Wow, that's
There's no way he's keeping up with my mobility, but I think he would still get some on me.
57. All right, I'm going to write that down real quick. 57 for Tyler right here. All right, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go with like 100. I'm sorry, I think I would get destroyed by him. I know being a girl, obviously, but even if I wasn't, I think I would still have a hard time. I feel he could get around me easily, but I feel like maybe I could score a few points on him.
Ooh.
I feel like I could.
What move would you use to score a few points on him? Step back?
She'd hit LeBron's move.
Yeah,
I don't
the
even
stare at the
know.
ball.
I would just
the ball stare?
I would throw a fake in there.
Throw a fake in there?
Throw a fake.
Okay, so, but you're saying 100 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Not bad. Not bad. All right, Grabiel. Let's hear it.
Okay, this is pretty hard. I have a 5-on-5? This is a 5-on-5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if it's one-on-one, he's scoring 400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5-on-5, I think he could go for Kobe's record. Maybe like 85 to 95 range. There's not enough minutes in the game, especially if I'm guarding him one-on-one the whole time. You know, I'm not doing anything on offense for sure. It's going to be impossible. I'm just throwing it to LeBron to do his signature move in the corner. But I think that Steph Curry, he's one of the best athletes, best three-point shooters. He's going to look at me, laugh. I'm like 6 foot on a good day. He'll laugh at me, shoot it over me. He'll be probably like 25 for 27. Maybe he'll miss like twice at the three-point line. And, you know, I'll say about 85 to 95. He'll give Kobe's modern-day record a run. Maybe he'll hit 100 like Wilt. Who knows if that's even legit. I'm going to go with that.
Fair enough. He knows if that's even legit. Yeah, everybody says he's playing against Plumbers and stuff. And so 85, we got 85, 95, we got 100. And Tyler's saying just 57. Just 57. Steph scored more than that in a regular game. Okay, great answers across the board. Adding up the points and finalizing our winner. The winner is, quick little drum roll, by a very close margin, it is indeed Tyler Moss. Tyler gets the win just, when I say barely, I mean barely. Tyler, congratulations. Do you have time for FaceTime?
Thank you.
Yeah. There we go.
Sam said yes. I don't know what to do with this. I've never been here. I want to, you know, shout out Joe that was supposed to be here tonight. Maybe we'll see him next week. He still won and hasn't come back, so maybe he'll have to come back at another time. I know right now he's watching his Rangers, you know, still hoping they win. Shout outs to me. I mean, I won this thing,
There
right?
we go.
I won this thing.
There we go.
I mean, obviously Kendall and Grabiel, great opponents as well,
Yeah.
but, you know, nobody really helped me with my answers. I did all the work, so, yeah.
There we go. I love it. Well,
that simple.
there we go. Well, congrats to you again, and that will wrap things up for us here at TSTV tonight. Thank you to everyone who makes the show possible, from the contestants to the in-studio personnel, all the people in Master Control, and to you, the audience, especially. I'm your host, Ryan Swantkowski, and we will see you guys next week.